The series opens with Matt Murdock, Foggy Nelson and Karen Page celebrating at Josie's bar. They are toasting the retirement of Cherry, their NYPD contact. The mood is celebratory as Nelson, Murdock and Page has been successful. Foggy steps outside to take a call from a client in danger. Benjamin Dex Poindexter aka Bullseye appears as a sniper on a nearby rooftop. He fires a single shot that strikes Foggy in the chest, killing him instantly. Dex then opens fire on the crowd at the bar. Matt, realizing what is happening, rushes outside and transforms into Daredevil. A long-take battle sequence begins. Daredevil and Bullseye fight through the bar, into the kitchen and up to the rooftop. The fight is brutal and continuous. Throughout the battle, Matt's enhanced hearing is focused on Foggy's heartbeat, which slows and eventually stops. Consumed by rage, Matt throws Dex off the roof. Dex crashes through a skylight and survives, likely due to the cognitive spine implant he received at the end of Daredevil Season 3. Cherry walks onto the roof and sees Matt unmasked, learning his secret identity. 1 year later, a title card indicates the passage of time. Matt has retired as Daredevil. His costume is stored away. Nelson, Murdock and Page has been dissolved. Karen has moved to San Francisco to escape the memories. Matt is now a partner at the high-profile law firm Murdock and McDuffie with Kirsten McDuffie. Cherry works for them as an investigator. At Bullseye's sentencing, Matt delivers a victim impact statement. Karen makes a brief appearance, but their friendship is strained and broken. Before leaving, Karen gives Matt a broken-off horn from his Daredevil cowl. Kirsten sets Matt up on a blind date with Heather Glenn, a therapist. They meet and connect. On their second date, Matt overhears a news report. Wilson Fisk has won the mayoral election. Wilson Fisk reunites with his wife Vanessa. During his absence, Vanessa has been running the 5 crime families. Fisk announces he is running for mayor on an anti-vigilante platform. His campaign is led by Sheila Rivera with assistance from Buck Cashman and Daniel Blake. Fisk's strategy is to position himself as a law and order candidate who will get things done by breaking through red tape. Bibi Urich, niece of the late journalist Ben Urich, is introduced. She runs an independent news outlet called the Bibi Report. She is determined to investigate Fisk. Matt and Fisk meet at a diner. The conversation is tense but civil. Fisk swears he had nothing to do with Foggy's death, and Matt's powers confirm he is telling the truth. Matt assures Fisk he is done being Daredevil. Fisk is elected mayor. In the shadows, an artist known as Muse creates graffiti on walls using human blood. The graffiti depicts a two-faced Fisk, signaling the arrival of a new threat. Hector Ayala, a man who secretly operates as the vigilante White Tiger, intervenes in an attack on a subway platform. He stops 2 men from assaulting a rider, but in the struggle, one of the assailants falls onto the tracks and is killed by an oncoming train. The attackers are revealed to be undercover police officers. Hector is arrested and charged with murder. Matt and Kirsten take on Hector's case. They believe in his innocence. Meanwhile, Heather Glenn begins leading marriage counseling sessions for Wilson and Vanessa Fisk. She is unaware that her new boyfriend Matt is Fisk's sworn enemy. Bibi Urich befriends Daniel Blake, a member of Fisk's staff, to get closer to the mayor and gather information. At a book signing for her work, Live Without Fear, a young fan named Bastian Cooper approaches Heather and asks for an appointment. This seems like a minor moment but will become significant later. Police Commissioner Gallo attempts to resign from his position. Fisk pressures him to stay by threatening to expose Gallo's secret family, a mistress and child he has hidden from the public. Gallo has no choice but to remain in his role. A key witness in Hector's trial is attacked by corrupt police officers who want to ensure Hector is convicted. Matt finds these officers and brutally attacks them. During the assault, he discovers a Punisher skull tattoo on one of the officers' wrists, indicating that Frank Castle's symbol has been co-opted by rogue cops. The witness who was attacked changes his testimony, weakening Hector's case. In a desperate move, Matt reveals in open court that Hector Ayala is the vigilante known as White Tiger. He argues that Hector's actions were heroic and that he should not be punished for defending himself and others. The gambit works. The jury acquits Hector. Meanwhile, Fisk ramps up his anti-vigilante rhetoric through BB's platform and public appearances. He uses Hector's case as an example of why vigilantes are dangerous. That night, Hector decides to suit up as White Tiger again. He is confronted in the street by someone wearing the Punisher logo. The person executes Hector with a gunshot. Hector dies instantly. The killer is later revealed to be a corrupt police officer, though the specific identity is not yet confirmed. Muse continues his gruesome work. He carries a victim through the subway tunnels to his hidden lair, where he uses their blood for his art. The scope of his murders becomes clearer as more people go missing. Hector's niece, Angela Del Toro, approaches Matt. She demands justice for her uncle and wants to know who killed him. Matt promises her that he will find the killer. Bibi Urich uses her connection with Daniel Blake to discover that Fisk plans to circumvent union contracts for his revitalization projects. She publishes a story exposing this, embedding embarrassing the mayor and disrupting a public event where Fisk was visiting children singing "We Built This City." Daniel admits to Fisk that he was the source of the leak. Surprisingly, this honesty earns Daniel Fisk's trust. Fisk reveals his larger plan to revitalize the Red Hook area of Brooklyn. He presents this as a public works project, but his true intentions remain hidden. Matt takes the bullet casing with the Punisher logo to Frank's castle. He finds Frank living in a well-stocked hideout, isolated and unwilling to engage with the world. Frank tells Matt he does not want to be a hero anymore. He mocks Matt for allowing Bullseye to live in prison while Foggy is dead. Frank reveals a personal detail. Whenever he stops moving, he hears the ghostly voice of his son saying, "Get him, Daddy." This is what drives him to keep fighting. In therapy, Fisk and Vanessa struggle to communicate. Their marriage is strained. Meanwhile, Fisk is shown dining alone in a hidden dungeon beneath his property. He has the bloodied rabbit in a snowstorm painting on the wall. In a cage nearby is a man named Adam. Adam is revealed to be the artist Vanessa had an affair with while Fisk was in prison. Matt sleeps with Heather for the first time. Later, he stands on a rooftop and begins training with his billy clubs. He is preparing to return. This episode functions as a standalone story. Matt seeks a bank loan for his law firm. He meets with assistant bank manager Yusuf Khan. Yusuf has a bobblehead of his daughter, Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, on his desk. While Matt is in the bank, Devlin and members of the Irish mob arrive to rob it. They need money for their boss, Luca. As part of the restitution payments, Fisk is forcing all crime families to make the robbers take everyone hostage. Matt, trapped in the bank, cannot reveal his identity. He uses his enhanced senses to quietly incapacitate several robbers one by one. He retrieves a diamond from a safety deposit box to use as a bargaining chip. He appears to hand the diamond to Devlin, but has actually swapped it for a piece of candy. Devlin escapes with the candy, believing he has the diamond. Matt, now wearing one of the robbers' red balaclavas to hide his identity, chases Devlin down and breaks his knee, ending the threat. Later, Yusuf invites Matt to dinner. Yusuf finds the actual diamond in his candy dish. Matt now has a loose end to deal with. Luca, the Irish mob boss, confronts Fisk at City Hall about the restitution payments that are crippling his organization. Fisk's response is to raise the restitution, increasing the pressure on the crime families. Fisk learns the full extent of Muse's activities. Muse has been using human blood for his murals, and the body count is rising. Detective Angie Kim and Commissioner Gallo urge Fisk to warn the public about the serial killer. Fisk refuses, wanting to handle the matter privately to avoid panic and maintain control. Muse escalates by kidnapping two fans who approach him at one of his murals. The disappearances attract more attention. At a fundraiser for Fisk's revitalization efforts, the mayor meets Jack Duquesne, also known as the swordsman from Hawkeye. The two men exchange threats, each warning the other to stay out of their way. Angela Del Toro tells Matt that her uncle was investigating missing people from their neighborhood before his death. Matt wants to investigate, but his PI Cherry, who knows Matt is Daredevil, wants him to stay out of it for his own safety. Fisk formally establishes the Anti-Vigilante Task Force, AVTF. He staffs it with officers who have bad records, including Powell and Cole North. These are the same type of corrupt officers who killed Hector Ayala. The AVTF is given broad powers to hunt vigilantes. Matt investigates Muse's lair. He finds a hidden chamber filled with gruesome art and an unconscious Angela Del Toro. Muse appears and Daredevil fights him. The battle is intense, but Muse escapes. Matt rescues Angela in the dungeon. Fisk gives Adam an axe and a chance to fight for his freedom. Adam swings, but Fisk easily dodges and beats him down with his bare hands, demonstrating his immense physical power. Fisk realizes that Daredevil is active again after the fight with Muse. Angie Kim finds evidence linking Bastian Cooper, the young fan who asked Heather for an appointment, to Muse. Fisk orders the AVTF to take over the manhunt, pushing Kim aside. Matt finds one of Muse's sketches in the lair. The sketch is of Heather Glenn. Matt realizes Heather is Muse's next target. He rushes to her office. Muse has already arrived. He has tied Heather up and is cutting her, preparing to use her blood for his art. Matt arrives and engages Muse in a bloody, brutal fight. During the struggle, Heather manages to grab a gun. She shoots and kills Muse. Matt flees immediately before the AVTF can arrive and capture him. Fisk has the AVTF take public credit for stopping Muse, presenting them as heroes. Heather recovers in the hospital. She realizes that Daredevil knew her name, raising questions about who he is. Luca approaches Vanessa with a proposal to remove Fisk from power. Vanessa's response is immediate and deadly. She has Buck shoot Luca dead in front of Fisk, demonstrating her loyalty and ruthlessness. Fisk takes Vanessa to the dungeon and shows her the caged Adam. He gives her a choice: save Adam or let him die. Vanessa chooses to let Adam die, proving her commitment to Fisk over her former lover. Buck invites Heather to Fisk's black and white ball. a formal event celebrating his mayoralty. Matt tells Heather the truth. Fisk must be using her to keep tabs on him. Heather is skeptical but unsettled. Matt learns that Fisk had Bullseye moved from solitary confinement to general population at Rikers Island. Matt visits Bullseye in prison. He demands to know whether Fisk ordered Foggy's killing. Bullseye refuses to answer and taunts Matt about Foggy's death. Matt loses control and slams Bullseye's face into the table. The impact loosens one of Bullseye's teeth. Bullseye spits the tooth like a bullet, killing a prison doctor who was nearby. In the chaos, Bullseye escapes from Rikers. At the black and white ball, Commissioner Gallo privately tells Bibi Urich that Fisk was a suspect in her uncle Ben Urich's death. Bibi reveals she already knew this and has been trying to get close to Fisk specifically to investigate him. Fisk threatens to out Jack Duquesne as the swordsman, exposing his criminal past unless Duquesne supports his revitalization plans. Buck informs Fisk that Bullseye is loose. Vanessa, in a moment of honesty, tells Fisk the truth. She was the one who ordered the hit on Foggy Nelson. Foggy had discovered her secret plans for Red Hook to turn it into an international free port outside federal jurisdiction, a sovereign base for their criminal empire. Matt, using his enhanced hearing, overhears this confession from across the room. He cuts in on Heather and Fisk, dancing with Heather while seething with rage at the knowledge that Vanessa killed his best friend. Bullseye positions himself outside with a sniper rifle. He lines up a shot on Fisk. Matt senses the bullet coming. He throws himself in front of Fisk, taking the bullet in the chest. He collapses. Matt survives the shooting and recovers from his wound. Fisk uses Bullseye's assassination attempt as a pretext to seize total control. He triggers a citywide blackout, shutting down New York, and declares what amounts to martial law. The AVTF is given unlimited authority. Matt returns to his apartment. Frank Castle is waiting for him. Karen, still in San Francisco, sent Frank to protect Matt. The AVTF, having tracked Matt, ambushes the apartment. A firefight erupts. Daredevil and the Punisher fight side by side, killing most of the corrupt officers. Matt has the opportunity to kill Cole North, the officer who killed Hector Ayala. He spares North's life, refusing to become a killer. Karen arrives in New York. She meets Matt in the street. They recover together at Frank's hideout. The chemistry between Karen and Frank is evident, though neither acts on it. Karen and Matt go through Foggy's old files. They find the evidence Foggy discovered before he died, proof that Red Hook is intended to be an international free port operating outside the jurisdiction of the federal government. The Fisks want this port as a sovereign base for their criminal operations. Vanessa killed Foggy because he found out. Frank goes to Red Hook alone and battles the AVTF. He is overwhelmed and captured. Officer Paul tries to recruit Frank, offering him a place with the corrupt officers who admire him. Frank's response, "Fuck fanboys." The officers beat him. Commissioner Gallo attempts to team up with Sheila Rivera to remove Fisk from office. Sheila immediately betrays Gallo to Fisk. Fisk confronts Gallo and, in the most graphic moment of the series, crushes Gallo's skull with his bare hands. Matt regroups at Josie's bar. He begins assembling an army to fight back against Fisk's regime. His recruits include Karen, Angie Kim, Cherry, and a few honest police officers left in the city. Fisk restores power to the city. He appoints Heather Glenn as mental health commissioner, keeping Matt's love interest close and under his control. He places the city under permanent martial law. Wealthy elites and opponents, including Frank Castle, are locked in Fisk's underground kennels. Post-credits scene, Frank Castle escapes from the kennels. The Punisher is free and will return.